Okay. So last class we had finished at challenges of the recruitment. Okay, that is adapting to globalization, changing changes taking place across the globe, and there will be a lot of changes which will be taking place across the globe when it comes to basically international recruitment. Okay, so there you have lot of problems and lot of complexities which are being faced when it comes to international recruitment. You need to adopt a lot of strategies, a lot of models are involved in that, through which you can have the apt recruitment method or recruitment source. Okay, as well as compensation strategy and all those things do come into place here. Okay, so changes taking place across the globe. Obviously, certain times because of globalization, you have n number of country people n number of nationality people working under one roof. Okay, so it becomes a very big challenge for the HR to recruit the right kind of candidate. Okay, who could suit to the culture of the organization. That becomes one of the challenge. Apart from that, lack of motivation, certain times or many of the times there will be no top management support for the HR department for recruitment purpose, because recruitment the management cannot spend too much of amount on recruitment. Okay, so basically the HR department lacks this particular motivation from top management. Okay, they say that you need to go in for minimum cost. Okay, minimum expenses, and get the maximum output, that is the best candidate in the market, like from the market. That is what basically is required by the companies. Okay, but it may not be very much possible. Okay, so here that is the one of the lack of motivation which do comes in for HR, and with this lack of motivation they have the challenge of getting the best candidates from the market. Okay, so they have to use a lot of innovative and creative ways through which they can get the best candidate. Apart from that, process analysis, right? So your recruitment process should be very flexible. Anytime the manpower requisition may arise within the organization. Okay, so lot many problems may happen within the organization. Okay, wherein the manpower requirement may arise suddenly, and you have to immediately change your plan, yearly plan or monthly plan, whatever you have made of recruitment in your organization, and then you have to be flexible and adaptive, and immediate recruitment should be done. Okay, flexibility and adaptivity is one of the thing. Okay, you cannot say to the department that okay, we have already had a meeting about this recruitment, and you said that you know, need only this much of manpower, and suddenly you are giving a requisition of manpower. It may not be possible. All this sort of things cannot be told by the HR department to various departments, right? If it is really required, if it is really necessary that yes, they have to recruit manpower, then it is to be done. Okay, so that's what we say. They need to be very flexible, very adaptive, and very responsive to immediate requirements. Okay, so that's what we say are the challenges. Okay, apart from that, strategic prioritization. Right. So here, review staffing needs. Okay, and prioritize the task to meet the changes in the market has become a big challenge. Okay, so n number of changes will be happening in the market. Okay, due to new products entry, due to competitors, due to various strategies being adopted by the competitors. Okay, so all these things, or maybe due to changing taste of the customers, right? So taking all these things into consideration, you need to be uh, very much strategic enough to prioritize the task. Okay, to meet the changes which happen in the market. Okay, so immediately when changes happen within the market, you have to change your processes or product, or maybe the operations within the organization, wherein you may have to bring new technologies, wherein we have to you have to get new people, very skilled people on that for those technologies, or you need to frame a task in such a way that you train your employees well in advance by anticipating that particular change. Okay, all these are various strategic prioritization which the HR department has to do. So that's the reason, my dear students, HR is being called as a strategic partner of the organization. They have to foresee what all changes will be happening in the market, foresee what all changes may happen to the strategy of the organization, objectives of the organization, foresee what all problems may occur within the organization, loopholes of the organization, and then rectify things in such a way, or patch up things in such a way that whatever changes happen doesn't disturb the main mission and vision of the organization, or doesn't disturb the main objectives of the organization. Okay, so the work should keep on running. That is what is the priority of the HR department, right? So it should not lack any manpower. So these are the various challenges which by the HR department being faced. Okay, then we have effectiveness, which is the last part of recruitment, my dear students. So how do you evaluate recruitment effectiveness? First is quantity of applications, right? So gross measure of the efforts. Okay, am I audible, students? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, great. So here, my dear students, evaluating recruitment effectiveness. First, you can evaluate by quantity of applications, right? So gross
Yes,
measures
ma'am.
of the. Sorry, yeah, tell me. Gross measures of the effect of recruitment activities with the philosophy that the more applications of the organization gets, the more it is likely to fill its openings with highly qualified candidates. Okay, so you have to get large number of applications, quantity of applications. So quantity of can be evaluated by various sources. Okay, so giving a gross estimate of the cost effectiveness of television advertisement in newspaper. So, what is the cost being spent on advertising and television advertisement in newspapers or various other sources, and how many applications are being received from these various sources? That tells you the quantity of applications. Okay, which tells us which source is really very effective. Okay, now apart from that, the second way to evaluate recruitment effectiveness, one is quantity, second one is quality of applications. So only receiving the quantity is not enough. You need to also understand whether you are receiving the quality applications. Okay. So organizations basically want to evaluate the percentage of applications. Organizations want to evaluate the percentage of applications that were considered qualified for the job, okay, or that were actually offered in the interview, fine. So here they try to identify the quality of applications which were actually selected, actually shortlisted, as well as offered the job of offered an interview. Okay, so that is the quality of applications. If you receive great quality of applications through which source, okay, so how much you have spent on the various sources and how much of quality of applications you have received. You may have received quantity from various other sources, but quality will not be there. Okay, so these are two things which are very important. When you want to identify which source is the best for recruitment, one is you need to receive highest quantity of applicants. Second is you need to receive the quality of applicants. That means the applications which you have received should be of good quality, which matches the job. Okay, so gross measure of the impact of recruitment program and can be analyzed by various sources of application. Next is time to fill. Okay, so this first two were regarding the source through which the recruitment is being done. Apart from that, the second one is time to fill. So most organizations evaluate the time it takes to fill a position. Fine. So typically, in terms of number of days from the date of the request is received in HR department until new employee actually report on board. Okay, so organizations basically evaluate the time it takes to fill a position. Fine. So when the requisition is given to the HR department, and how much time the HR department has taken to fill that particular vacant position, that is being evaluated. So these data are then compared against goals, historic averages, benchmarks to evaluate the recruitment effectiveness. Okay, so recruitment efficiency. Then again we have the yield ratio. Obviously, the recruitment is often evaluated in terms of yield ratio from one stage of process to another. Okay, so what percentage of applicants were considered qualified for the job? How many attended the interview? Okay, and then afterwards, how many were offered the job? How many joined the job? That percentages are being as ratios are being calculated. Okay, so that is nothing but yield ratio. Apart from that, you have cost per hire, that is tracking the average cost to hire employees, typically by dividing all recruitment related expenses by the number of actual hires. Okay. Then selection rates, that is also one of the way through which you can evaluate recruitment effectiveness. So selection rates is nothing but evaluate number of new hires, okay, against the total number of applicants. How many applicants were there and how many were selected. Acceptance rate is nothing but how many were offered the job and how many accepted for joining the organization. That is nothing but the acceptance rate. Okay. Then increasing recruitment effectiveness. Okay. Moving on to how can you increase the recruitment effectiveness? First thing you have to do is applicant tracking system, ATS. Okay. This is very, very important term in HR nowadays, right? So here the manager, HR manager can increase their recruitment effectiveness by having a proper applicant tracking system, okay, ATS, to collect data on applicants and provide various analysis. So here you have analytics which plays a major role here. So HR analytics plays a major role here. So what it does is the applicants, whoever have been applied, they track their entire profile. Okay, they understand the job profile which is there within the organization, match with it, and then provide with various analysis whether that particular candidate or applicant is a right match for the job or no. Okay, then basically the next way to increase recruitment effectiveness is realistic job preview. Okay, which provides the job candidate accurate details about the organization and the job. Now, that is very, very important when it comes to recruitment. You need to give realistic job preview. That means you need to give a correct idea about the job, correct profile of the job, correct requirement, specification of that particular job, description of that particular job to the candidate. If you fail in doing that, you end up having lot many unrelated applicants being applying for your organization. Okay, again what happens is it gives a bad image about the company in front of the candidates when you are directly not selecting them or maybe not shortlisting them. Okay, so that's what we say, that it is very, very important that you give realistic preview to the job preview to the candidates, so that candidates understand what exactly is the job. They analyze themselves first whether they are really the right person for the job, and then they apply for that particular job. So there your time as well as cost is being saved, as well as time of the candidate also is being saved. Okay, so you create a better image in the mind of public, in the mind of people. Okay, as well as you save cost on your recruitment process. So that is one of the way through which you can increase recruitment effectiveness. Okay, then responsive recruitment process. Okay, is that in which applicants receive timely responses on processes and are treated with consideration. Very, very important. Many of the companies fail in this, right? So here responsive recruitment process is very important to be in place. Okay, wherein applicants receive the timely response. So immediately when they apply for the job, a thank you message should come to them saying that thank you, we have received your application, we will be reaching you soon. Okay, and after that immediately, maybe within 1 or 2 days, immediately you have to call the candidate for an interview or maybe for a telephonic round or whatever it is. Okay, so today you have applied for the job, and after 2 3 months, if candidate receives a response from the company, that becomes a very bad image in front of the candidate about the company. Okay, so recruitment process should be very responsive enough. Timely responses should be given to the candidates. Okay, as well as you have to treat the candidate with consideration. Okay, many of the companies give a thank you letter for the candidates who have come for an interview and who are not being selected. Okay, they thank them for their time being spent in the company for the process. Okay, so these are all the various things which have to be done. Okay, then industries, as I said, give thank you card to the candidate irrespective of whether they are offered the job or not. So whether they are offered the job or not, it is not being considered, but they give a thank you for a card for the candidate for giving their expensive, giving their time to the organization. Okay, so that's what these are the different ways through which you can increase recruitment effectiveness. Okay, then recruitment and selection at Marriott. Okay, let us see some of the recruitment and selection processes into various companies. Okay, so one is Marriott. I hope you all know about Marriott. It is one of the biggest hotel chain. Okay, so here Marriott follows the tagline "Spirit to Serve." That is their tagline. Okay, to be the foundation of Marriott culture. So this is the culture of the Marriott. Okay, so they have that particular culture of spirit to serve, that they believe that customers are God and you have to serve them at best. Okay. So by spirit to serve means that Marriott considers people to be the most important asset. Okay. So Marriott recognizes the contribution from all the employees using performance. Fine. Um, so Marriott, what it does is it recognizes the contribution from all the employees using performance reward system. Okay, so they have a performance reward system, and they just go in for understanding the contributions from all the employees, right? Spirit to serve also means that the guest or the customer of the Marriott appreciate the quality, consistency, and personalized services. Now that is what is very much required in Marriott. Okay, so whenever they are selecting the candidates for Marriott, they see into this particular quality, okay, within the candidate. Fine. So recruitment team of Marriott basically guides the potential employers regarding the recruitment process to minimize the applicant stress. Okay. So what they do is they try to minimize the applicant stress. They will not be having too many rounds. Okay. So recruitment and selection process evaluates the applicant for the following competencies. Now, what are the various competencies which are being looked into? One is leadership quality, then managing execution, okay, then building relationship, okay, and learning and applying professional expertise. So you will be put in a training whenever you join Marriott, and you will be trained on this professional expertise, and you are expected to learn it properly and implement it in a right way. Then generating talent and organizational and capabilities. All these are various things which are being looked into in recruitment and selection process of Marriott. Okay. Now moving on to Amazon, my dear students. I hope you all know about Amazon, right? So recruitment process is at Amazon. So Amazon hiring process lasts for about 1 to 3 weeks and include 5 to 6 rounds for the candidate to go through. Now, please understand, students, for fresher level, the recruitment process is different. For experienced candidates, the recruitment process is different. For expertise into certain particular areas, the recruitment process differs. Okay. So here, let us speak about the freshers. What they do is it lasts about 1 to 3 weeks and include 5 to 6 rounds for candidates to go through. So Amazon recruits candidates both on campus and off campus, right? So Amazon is one of the company which recruits the candidates both on campus and off campus. So Amazon on campus placements are conducted at certain colleges, universities all over India, like IITs and NITs. Okay, so they recruit from IITs and NITs. Then off-campus recruitment, anybody can apply online or through recommendations also. They can go in for applying to the company, right? Then what is the process of an Amazon recruitment process of an Amazon? First recruitment process is application. So Amazon recruitment process begins with the application. Okay, candidate should create a profile. Candidate will be creating a profile and search for appropriate job for them. Okay, the candidates can apply online and also learn the process of application through the link given below. So what happens is your resume or CV may not be very much necessary here. Okay, so they will be having a particular form wherein all your details with whatever is required to the company is being put forth by you. Okay, so they will be having an application form. In that you will be filling in all the details which the company requires, your details which the company requires. So this saves time for the company for screening your resumes and all those things, right? So this is what the beauty of analytics and the technology, if you could say, IT, information technology. Okay, so resume or CV is not mandatory for applying candidates. Okay, so www.amazon.jobs. Okay, this is the site where you can apply. Apart from that, the interview process. Once you apply, so you immediately the shortlisting is being done. Okay, so there are multiple assessments in the interview. After the shortlisting of the candidates, the interview process goes on. So multiple assessments and interviews are conducted basically to analyze performing capacity of the candidate, whether the candidate is a performer or no. Okay, so hiring committee is more cautious in dealing with selection process. Now this is very important. So hiring committee, it is more cautious on selection process. Okay, so steps involved in Amazon selection process are mentioned below. First step is written and online coding rounds. Okay, so after proper evaluation, so test again differs based on Test again differs based on various jobs. Okay, for various jobs, there will be various tests which are being conducted. I've just taken the basic one here. So, return an online coding round. So, after proper evaluation of the profile of the candidate, the interview process starts with a written test, okay, which is conducted to assess the logical and technical skills. That is what we say aptitude test, which is common for all the jobs, right? So they go in for understanding the logical skills and technical skills of the candidate. Okay. So Amazon test duration is about 90 minutes. Fine. So if you could see here, my dear students, sections, what are there in the test? First section is aptitude and technical. Okay. Technical again depends on the job. Okay. Number of questions which are asked is 20, and the content of that particular paper is aptitude, programming, data structures, operating systems, network, DBMS, database management systems. All these are various contents of the test. Okay. Then programming, you will be having two questions which has algorithms and data structures. So total you will be having 22 questions. Okay. So again, these all change based on the type of job which you are applying for. So written test is followed by online coding round. You would be going for online coding round. Okay. So Amazon online test questions are based on DBMS, operating systems, data structures, and algorithms. Then you have multiple telephonic round. Okay. So once the test is done and you are through with the test, then they go for multiple telephonic round. So during the first phone call, the HR or senior member will ask basic questions on the candidate's project or resume. So they'll be asking the basic questions on your projects which you have conducted in your colleges or maybe schools or whatever it is, and your resume. Okay. So my dear students, resume is the first impression what you are giving to the employer or the HR who is sitting there for your selection. Okay, so resume should be filled with the great content which is very much required. Resume should speak about your knowledge, your skill, your ability, your expertise, your achievements, okay, as well as your additional qualities that the resume says. And first thing what the resume should prove is your career objectives, what exactly you want to be, what is your dream, where you want to reach, okay, down the line in next 5 years, where you want to reach. All this comes in objectives. Okay. Apart from that, resume also tells about your qualification, which is being done in first round itself. Okay, so here when it comes to telephonic round, they focus more on your achievements, they focus more on your projects and the resume. So projects are very, very important, students. Many a times it happens that uh, just for the sake of doing a project you just do it. Okay, but that should not be done. Project is one of the base for your first job. Okay, so whenever you are doing a project, you should choose a very right area in which you want to pursue your career. Okay, and then you need to choose the right topic which is really ongoing topic which will fetch you the great job. Project tells that you are practically having knowledge about the area through for which you have applied for. Okay, you are practically knowing the knowledge about the job for which you have applied for. Okay, so that is what we say about the project. So based on the projects as well as the resume, okay, questions are being asked in telephonic round by the HR or senior member. The interviewer will check if the candidate is a good fit or not. Okay, then you have on-site interviews. Okay, so once the telephonic rounds are through, then you will be going for on-site interviews. So on-site interviews are the technical rounds of the Amazon interview process. Okay. So first face-to-face on-site interview is an algorithmic round with 2 or 4 questions. Okay. So frequently asked questions are on data structures, matrices, operating systems, and recursion-based concepts. Okay. Again, this depends on the job which you are applying for. Next technical round is bit harder than the previous round on similar concepts. Okay, so you can visit Amazon interview questions to learn more about the frequently asked questions in Amazon interview. So you have Glassdoor, you have n number of websites which will tell you what type of questions will be asked in the companies. Okay, or what type of aptitude test will be taken by the companies. Therein you can go in for referring and checking those questions and solving the aptitude papers, right? And then you have HR and hiring manager rounds. Once you are done with the technical rounds and all those things, okay, or on-site interviews, then you will be going for hiring manager round. So hiring manager, that is the recruitment manager or HR manager round, is an intensive technical round where candidate will be solving problems on data structures, algorithms, and some tricky puzzles being given by the hiring manager on the suggestions or maybe on the inputs given by the department heads where the candidate is going to be recruited. Then bar raiser round, okay. So Amazon hiring process does not end with HR round. The bar raiser round is final and most crucial hurdle in judging the candidate's placement, okay. So this is nothing but a supreme recruiter who makes the best long term hiring decision, okay. So by each hire, the bar raiser ensures that they raise the average Amazon employee performance, okay. So Amazon is known for, you know, giving welfare facilities to the employee, okay. Happy employees, that's what we could say, okay. The performance of our employees is really very good in Amazon, okay. So that is the result of these rounds which are there in Amazon, okay. So bar raiser basically serves as the objective advisor in evaluating the leadership principles of the candidate, okay. That is what is being looked into. After all these rounds, they go in for review, okay. So final process of Amazon recruitment is review, which is a backstage process and lasts for few days. Okay. So Amazon HR committee works on every facet of the candidate's profile and screens the best suited candidate. Okay. Later, this report is being sent to the group senior officials who decide on whom to hire for their job. Okay. So that's what we say is the Amazon hiring process. Okay. Next, we'll be moving down with the selection process. Okay, so before going down with the selection process, I would like to come down with the case here, my dear students. Okay, so this particular case is regarding job specification. Okay, so recruiting without having job specification. Can you see the screen, students? Is it visible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so here, Joy, an MBA HR with 2 years of experience as assistant HR manager. Okay, so the case starts like this. Joy, a person named Joy, an MBA HR, who with 2 years of experience as assistant HR manager in a manufacturing organization, had joined an automotive company as the HR manager. Okay, so he had joined an automotive company. He was already having experience into manufacturing organizations, but he had joined an automotive company in as a HR manager about a couple of years back. Okay, number of industrial conflicts had been rising ever since he joined this company, as his company was located in the belt where many other automotive companies were also located. Okay, um, so please understand, students here. Okay, so here Joy, an MBA in HR with 2 years of experience as assistant HR manager in a manufacturing organization, had joined an automotive company as a HR manager about couple of years back. Okay, so after he joined, a number of industrial conflicts had been rising ever since he joined in this company, as the company was located in the belt where many other automotive companies were also located. Okay, and where industrial disputes, strikes, and lockouts were a common phenomenon. Okay, so this is the problem of this particular case here. Okay, so here there are this particular person was being appointed as HR manager in an automotive company. He had experience of manufacturing organizations. Okay, so after he joined, there were a lot of conflicts which were happening within the organization. Okay, and it was being observed that the company was located in a belt where many other automotive companies were located, and obviously the industrial disputes, strikes, and lockouts were common phenomena, were always happening. Okay, many a time he had to attend the proceedings in the office of conciliation officer. Okay, conciliation, my dear students, is nothing but wherein the government officer interferes, okay, to resolve the dispute between the employer and the employee, or the employers association and employee unions. Okay, so conciliation officer is being appointed to sort out that particular problem. Okay, this is first part of the case. Now second part of the case. So he had to attend lot of in he had to spend a lot of time in proceedings in conciliation officer, labor courts, and so on. So telling upon heavily on his time and personal health on account of excessive physical and mental exertion. Obviously, when it comes to court of law, there will be a lot of excessive physical and mental exertion which happens to a particular person. Okay, so his health was also going down, as well as he was spending too much of time on all this conciliation, attending the labor courts, attending the hearings and all those things. Okay, so when he found that it was not possible for him to cope up with legal works in addition to his routine duties, so he found that he was not able to cope up with with the legal work in addition to his routine duties in the HR department. Okay, so he approached his CEO, okay, who was MTech. So he approached his CEO after he realized that he's not able to cope up with all these things. So he approached the CEO, who was an MTech mechanical engineer, and pleaded for an additional hand to take care of legal issues. Okay, so he just asked for an additional hand who would take care of the legal issues so that he can concentrate on various other routine duties in HR department. After a lot of discussion, the CEO agreed to sanction a post of assistant manager legal. Okay, so he decided that okay, we'll just hire a particular person as an assistant manager into legal department, and asked Joy to go ahead with the recruitment for the aforesaid post. Okay, so with an intention of getting immediate relief, Joy advertised the post next day. Okay, so laying down that the applicant should be the first class law graduate. So he immediately put forth the advertise in the newspapers, and he put forth in the advertisement that the applicant who should apply for the job should be first class law graduate and be readily available to join the company if selected. That was the condition which was being put forth in the advertisement. So within a period of 3 weeks, Robin, a fresh law graduate, was appointed. Okay, within a period of 3 weeks, Robin, a fresh law graduate, was appointed, as he had scored the highest percentage of marks in his law degree. Okay, so he had scored highest percentage of marks. Based on that criteria, he was being selected, okay, among all the candidates who had applied for the job and subsequently interviewed. Okay, so Robin reported for his duty within a week of his selection for the post. Fine. However, Joy found that instead of proving a helpful hand, Robin proved to be a liability to him. So Joy wanted a helping hand, but Robin proved to be a liability to him because he was a raw hand. Okay, because he didn't have any experience. He had the bookish knowledge. Okay, so he was actually a raw hand and no practical exposure in handling the legal issues. He didn't have any practical exposure in handling the legal issues. So he used to approach Joy very frequently to seek background of the case, legal formalities to be observed regarding the case, and implications related to every case. So Joy felt so much overburdened that he resigned from his post. Okay, that was a problem which happened with Joe. Now here, I hope you have understood the case, my dear students. Understood the case? Yes, students, did you understand the case? Neha Kamte, please unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the case?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me the brief of the case, Neha? Can you brief the case? Anyone apart from Sneha, can you brief the case? What exactly it is? Just tell in short. what is the case about? Kirti, can you tell in short what is the case about? Neha, can you tell in short what is the case about? When I ask a question, you have understood the case, you say yes. When I ask you, tell brief about the case, no one replies. What does it mean? That means you have not understood the case, or else you are feeling afraid to speak. Is it so, Sanjana? Okay, this case basically is about a particular manager who was there in the manufacturing company called Joe, and he was appointed as assistant manager in a automotive company. Okay, so this particular company was located in an area where lot many other automotive companies were there, and every now and then there were a lot of strikes. Okay, a lot of lockdowns and all these things which were happening. Okay, so industrial relation was not so good in that particular area. So the same was also depicted in this particular company. They found that there are a lot of problems, lot of issues, lot of conflicts between the employer and the employee. And then afterwards, Joe had to spend lot of time into legal proceedings. Okay, he had to spend lot of time in conciliation with the conciliation officer. So conciliation officer is a third person who will be coming in, appointed by the government, to sort out the issues or problems with the within the with the employer and the employee. Okay, so he gives the final authority, he is given the final authority to give a decision, fine. So that is, so Joe had to spend a lot of time in labor courts attending the case proceedings. Okay, as well as with the conciliation officer and all those things. So he was not able to concentrate on daily affairs of the company or routine work of HR in the company. Okay, so he went to the CEO and asked for a help. Okay, he said that, I request you to please appoint a helping hand for me. Okay, who would help me into this legal affairs so that I can concentrate on the routine works of HR in the department. Okay, so with a lot of efforts, again, CEO agreed to it. So Joy placed an advertisement in the newspaper stating that he need a legal law graduate. He needs a law graduate. Okay, and that paper advertisement was being put forth, and the candidate should join immediately. These were the 2 points which are put in the advertisements. Okay, and then within 3 weeks, one particular person was being appointed. Okay, so that person proved to be a burden to Joy rather than an helping hand. So because he was a fresher, he didn't knew anything about the legal formalities and all those things. He didn't knew anything about sorting out the case or solving the case. So he had to always approach Joy and ask for his guidance for getting the things done, or going for the proceedings and all those things. Okay, so getting the details of the case, for everything he used to disturb Joy. Okay, so Joy felt that he was actually a burden for him, and finally Joy left the job. Okay, so this is all about the case. Okay, now let us move on to the questions of the case. Identify what went wrong in the appointment of Robin. Can you answer this question? Identify what went wrong in appointment of Robin.
He has no experience.
Okay, and any other answers, my dear students? Please understand the question. Identify what went wrong in appointment of Robin. What mistake did the company do or Joy do in appointment of Robin?
Ma'am, he was being appointed because he has scored highest.
Very good. Huh?
But instead of that, these people could have focused on the experience or person's exposure into the field.
Very good. Very good. Okay. So before that, my dear students, the first mistake what Joy did was the advertisement which he set in the paper. There were only 2 points which were mentioned. One is you should be a law graduate, and second is you should join immediately. Okay. Nowhere experience was mentioned. Okay. You should have so many years of experience, that was not being mentioned. Okay, so that was one first wrong step they did. And second wrong step is selection. Okay, selection of the candidate just because he had scored highest marks. They didn't analyze whether he was really able to implement whatever he has been taught in the college. Okay, so that thing was not being analyzed. Immediate selection was being done only based on the marks. Okay, so that was two wrong things which happened in appointment of Robin. Second question here: what policy should be followed by the company in future in order to avoid the pitfalls experienced in the case of Robin? Can you suggest what policy should be followed by the company in future? Can anyone answer here? If you were the HR manager of the company. Yeah, tell me, students.
Labor policy.
Labor policy? No. What changes are to be done in recruitment policy, my dear students? Policy in the sense recruitment policy here, or selection policy here. Recruitment and selection policy. So, what changes should be done so that in future such type of pitfalls may be avoided? Can anyone answer this? Think, students. Case study is one of the method which will tell you how to implement the knowledge what you have earned. So please quickly tell me what policy should be followed by a company in future in order to avoid the pitfall experienced in the case of Robin. If it is wrong, also no issues. Please speak up. Speak up, students. No issues. If it is wrong, also no problem. Yeah. Yes, students. Kiran Nayak, can you please reply for this particular question? Namrata Jain, Kiran Nayak, can you reply? Great. So here recruitment policy here, my dear students, the company should understand the advertisements from which they have to go in for yield ratio, understanding the yield ratio from which sources they may get the right candidate without doing any prior work. They went in for directly putting an ad in the newspaper in which was made in an urgency. Okay, which was not right. Okay, so there should be certain steps being followed, there should be certain authorization being made, there should be certain checks being followed before placing an advertisement in the newspaper, and you should understand which source you have to recruit. Okay, what is your requirement first, and then based on that you have to go in for recruitment. Okay, so here, my dear students, strategy of recruitment, if you remember your recruitment process, okay, which I have already taught in your module 2, recruitment process, second step is recruitment, first step is recruitment planning, and second step is strategy of recruitment strategy. So these both things were wrong here, which have to be rectified in the policy of the organization. Okay, if that is rectified, that you have proper planning of recruitment, you have proper strategy of recruitment, 100% you will be ending up having the best candidate in your organization. Okay, so you can add this to this particular answer, and you can put forth that particular answer here. Then prepare a brief job specification for the post of assistant manager legal for the organization Joy was working at. Can you tell me what all elements you will include for preparing a job specification? I'm asking job specification, not job description. Job specification tells about the knowledge. Sorry, job specification tells about the knowledge, skill, and ability required for a particular job. Now tell me what job specification should be prepared for assistant manager legal for organization for which Joy was working. If you were Joy, okay, if I put you in the role of Joy and ask you to place an advertisement, what all are the points you will be adding into that particular advertisement? Which source of recruitment will you choose? Will you go for print media, that is advertisements, or will you go for any other source like consultants? Will you go for headhunting? Will you go for body leasing? Will you go for any other internal or external source of hiring? What exactly will you do? Can you please tell me, my dear students? Prachi, Neha, Namrata, Prashant, Sanjana, please open up your mouth and please tell me the answer. What all points you'll include? First thing is, which source of recruitment you will follow, internal or external? This is a beautiful case, my dear students. Which source you will be following, internal or external? Prashant Upadhyay, can you reply back? Which source will you follow, internal or external? Prashant Upadhyay, will you go for internal source of recruitment or external source of recruitment? Sanjana, will you go for internal or external source of recruitment? Kiran Nayak, Gajanan, will you go for internal or external source of recruitment? Yeah, Gajanan.
Yeah, ma'am, I think external will be better because for internal,
Hmm.
if there would be people around, then if they had already people around who would be fit for the profile, then there was
Mhm.
no need of advertising and doing those stuffs.
Very good, very good. You have to go for external. Fine. Which source of external you will be looking in for?
Like consultancies, I think that those will be the best one because
Hmm.
consultancy already they sort out few people among
Hmm.
everyone. So choosing a candidate from consultancy will be much more better.
Very good. Okay. Choosing people from you getting the help from the consultants would be a better option, because the time, cost, everything is being saved and you get the right candidate. Okay. So that is one of the thing which can be done. Right. Great, Gajanan. Apart from that, my dear students, there was one more question here. Okay. Job specification. If you were being put in the shoes of Joy. Okay, and I ask you to prepare a job specification for assistant manager legal. What are the various points you will be putting in? First is obviously should have a degree in law. Then,
Experience,
very good. How many years
required
of
experience,
experience?
at least 2 years of experience
Experience into which field, my dear?
into the same field, into the legal itself.
Legal into the organizations, right?
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay, right. So these are various specifications. I'll not go much into detail in all these things, right? So probably in next coming days or in the coming classes, we'll be looking into various case studies, my dear students, with the class. Okay, so that at least you understand the practical implications of how this is being done. In the sense, whatever you are studying here, how can it be practically implemented, and what are the problems which arise in the organization? Apart from Gajanan, anyone would like to reply? Sanjana, Shubham, Sneha, anyone would like to reply? Sneha, Mutigi, Asha, anyone would like to add on to what Gajanan said? Namrata Jain, Kirti Desai. Okay, I request all students, next time whenever there is a case study being done, I want everyone to participate. If you all participate in solving the case study, you will learn a lot. I want inputs from your end. It is not that I read the case and again only one or two students answer the case, and again I also give the answers of the case. There is no point in dealing with case studies here. Okay. So request you all to open up your mouth and speak whatever you have in your mind. Fine. So right, for this particular session here, okay. So next in tomorrow's next class, we'll be looking into selection, and then we'll be moving on to the training, okay, which will be the end of your module 2, right? Thank you very much, students.
Thank you, ma'am.